guys. Last night was a late night, late dinner, humongous. I keep forgetting pasta swells up. So you take the dry pasta out, you think, oh, that's a portion, and it turns out to be 2 portions because it swells up. Keep forgetting that. Anyway, I stuck myself silly last night, and I got up quite late today, 6:30. It's 6:30 in the morning, quite late. Anyway, I've just been pottering around because it was getting quite chilly this morning. But the sun's breaking out again, and just finishing off with the water that I've saved that I couldn't fill up last night, so I'm just topping up. It's just a little tip, you know. When you're out in the wilds, you can dig a hole for obvious reasons, and that's well and good. But when you're sort of like long-term living, you've got to start thinking more of the composting aspect of things, and obviously bigger, deeper holes, at least 15 feet away from any water supply. But one thing that I know is when I always save the ash from the fire, stick it in the bag and everything else, and use a tin whenever you need to. Now the thing about that is that the ash keeps a lot of the flies and other insects away. So one thing you don't want to do, if you've been to some of these third world countries and you've gone into a public toilet, oh god, that's yeah, it's yeah, you'll end up crapping in a doggy bag yourself. I swear. Actually, come to think of it, who's going to notice? I crap in a black bag and just chuck it around. Everyone else seems to be doing it with their doggy poo. Why not do it with... Yeah. Again, composting. When we're talking about cleanliness and keeping clean and everything else, composting is also part of that. And you've got to maintain a clean, decent camp. The thing about that sort of composting is it takes 4 weeks for everything to break down, including toilet paper. Obviously, if you're using wet wipes, they don't break down so quickly. A couple of 100 years, I think. So, you know, wet wipes for the after, stick it in a black bag and throw it away as normal, or burn it. I think some of the things that we used to do, I mean, soldiers used to do, is to burn all the day-to-day stuff. It gets rid of it quite quickly, and everything else. It's the same with wet wipes. If you've got a fire going, just stick a wet wipe in the fire. It burns off quite quickly, and there's negligible environmental aspect. I mean, obviously, if everyone was pooping every day and doing it every day, you know, then it'd be a different story. Now, yeah, so when you're out and about, dig a hole away from water, bury it, mark it with a stick so other people who are in the know will understand that there's some refuse there. And it could, you know, again, when you're out and about, you wouldn't notice. These things don't notice after. I mean, how many times do people poo in the same area? Sorry to be talking about poo this early in the morning. It's just just having to think about long-term living, well, medium to long-term living. How to survive. As I say, if you're a SHTF scenario type person and all that, it's all well and good being on the move, but you're going to have to put down a certain amount of roots in a camp somewhere. And so these sort of things need to be addressed, you know. Anyway, so that's it. Save your ash, stick it in a bag or something else like that, and use it after you poo. And that way you keep your latrine area relatively free from insects and other marauding little thingies that might like to rummage around your shit. I've got a mouse that rummages around my shit. I'm sure there's all sorts of other insects that like to rummage around other people's shit. Yeah. Anyway, but so that's it. Keep clean. Keep your camp clean. Again, your composting area's got to be 20-30 feet away from your camp. The same sort of distance away from any water supply, and then you'll have a clean camp, basically. Tip for the day, okay? If I can think of something else, I'll be sure to post it. Catch you later, guys. Oh, didn't know what to have for breakfast. I didn't want to cook up another batch of pasta just yet. So those lovely people from the food banks gave me packets of custard. Thought to myself, oh, God, why not? Fancy something sweet as well. And I don't normally take sugar at all. So yeah, I just whipped up a pretty sure this custard pack is off. And I found a couple of packs of sugar from Kuwait Airlines, which a year or so ago, or maybe a year or so ago, I went was on them. You know, I always take stuff that's there. And I've got a bag of raisins. So custard and raisins for breakfast. Oh, the raisins are fine, you know. Don't always, you know, sort of plug the hunger gap. I don't know. It actually looks like that Chinese chicken and corn soup. Something's not. And it. Oh dear. I don't know if you could. No, you can't really see it. Oh well. The proof is always in the pudding, isn't it? Yeah. Try it out. Oh dear. Oh, sweet that thing. And it's warm. Well, if anything happens to me, aim it on the custard. Catch you later, guys. 3:30 in the afternoon. Done a little bit more camo and everything else. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, oh, I'm getting hungry now. I'm afraid the custard and raisins this morning just didn't hack it. And I was just thinking, what can I eat? So I checked my supplies. What did I have last night? Oh yeah, I had that pasta and beans last night. Stuck myself silly. Been eating a lot of pasta. Sometimes have pasta on its own. Pasta with the soupy broth sometimes. Pasta and ham if I've got a tin of ham. A lot of pasta, so just thinking to myself, what shall I have to eat? Check my supplies. pasta and beans. Good for another 2 more meals. And it might be squirrel after that. Right. Anyway, I guess I better get going and have something to eat. If I have it now, then I won't. There's 2 thoughts here. It's nice to go to bed on a full stomach, you know, but actual fact, you know, I'm still reminded of that old saying, have a king's breakfast, prince's lunch, and a pauper's dinner. And I often believe it's a good idea to sometimes go to bed hungry, so long as you've got a good meal, a good breakfast in the morning. I mean, that first meal of the day sets you up, you know, gets everything going. But for some reason, I just don't fancy cooking pasta and beans for breakfast. Yeah, a lot of carbohydrates. I mean, as much as I'd love to be able to, I might do that. I just might do a spit roast. I'm just thinking about this. The weather's still good, and once I mean the internal fireplace still needs working on, but it's all about bricks, you know, to seal it all, seal the smoke, so the smoke goes through the smoke canopy. If I don't have a too big a fire, then it's fine inside. But yeah, I think I'm going to, when I get my next benefit, treat myself and do an outdoor open spit chicken. Yeah. I'll get one of those small chickens from Tesco's and Sainsbury's, because I can waff one of those down quite easily, and treat myself. I mean, that'll be good for lunch and dinner. Yeah, so spit roast coming up, and I'll get this place sorted out. Let's see if I can find some other bits and pieces. I'll have to make my own skewers, but that's easy enough to do. So just might do some, you know, yeah, thinking of menu ideas. I wish I'd videoed but I didn't really have all the gear at the time when I did my last squirrel a couple months ago. So trusty axe, head off, feet off, skinned, gut, skewer, tasty. And it's all in the seasoning, isn't it? I did see a recipe, someone saying if you use maple syrup or something else or honey on the squirrel, it makes the meat a lot sweeter. So yeah, I might consider that. Might even try peanut butter, a little bit of satay squirrel. You know? Anyway, anyone got any menu ideas what to do? All my Ransons are all dead now. I have to wait till the next season. I've got hawthorn leaves, I suppose, and there's some cow parsley around. I suppose. Yeah, I can still forage for that. Anyway, it's been a lazy day. I've been sitting on my backside all day. You know, just basically just pitching around. Oh, got to do something. Do it. Sit back down again. Oh well. Catch you later, guys. To the cooking thing, I went to clean my pot out, pan, and my little brook is absolutely totally stopped even the trickle now, and even the little wells I've got, so I've just been washing up in getting all the soot and dirt off and yesterday's food off in really muddy, dirty water. It's a good thing I managed to get a filter off a little bit of water in my bucket. Not much, that was supposed to be for another wash. Just to rinse everything off. So now I'm just going to have to use a lot more of the water supply I've got stored up to ensure everything's clean and dry. So it looks like I might get through at least 3 litres of water just to have some dinner tonight. Oh, and fill my thermos up. I've had quite several coffees already this morning, so this was a lovely little kettle. It's Gillette, I think, or Gillette. It lost the top from the thing there, but it, pot calling the kettle black. But it's still going strong. The water here is very, very heavy in limescale, so it's a bit of an issue. I don't know about your cuts and everything else. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be viable here if we don't get any rain soon. We'll have to find other ways to gather some water somewhere. Have to look around. Anyway, just an addendum. Water supply is getting really low now. Normally early in the morning there's a trickle, so what I'll do tomorrow is plan ahead and get as many buckets, as much things as I can filtered off as quickly as possible. Anyway, just a quick addendum. Catch you later. Right guys, just been watching a few tips on Tinder. Those Vaseline, cotton bud backpacks, and yeah, they're very, very good. I always have in my little fire tin. Got a packet of cotton buds dipped in petroleum jelly. It's a lot cheaper than you can get a whole jar, a big jar of petroleum jelly for £1 in Poundland. And normally what I do is I get one of these freezer bags from Tesco's, turn it inside out, get a big scoop out of it, and turn it back inside. You get a big bundle of cotton wool buds. I've used quite a lot already, and stuff it up. So it's about halfway through, and then you just seal it up. You just get all the air out and seal it up, and just mix it all around like that. And once it's all sealed and everything else, once it's all sealed, you've got your tinder. It's there. You can just wrap it up, keep it in your tin. As usual, I've got my also, I think I did a video earlier, just ordinary napkins that you can pick up on McDonald's or something else like that. I've always got a packet of those. Got my penny stove in there, and I made it the right size to fit in to my tin. So I've got my penny stove, lacking a penny. That'll hold about 50 odd millilitres. That's enough to boil a litre of water. And there I have a little jar of methylated spirits, and I kept another one there of bioethanol fuel. So I've got enough there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cook-offs plus whatever you can get off on that. So that's my little fire tin with my fire strike. And I see these videos of people doing, get this candle wax, and you need to have wrap it, do it all individually and all that. Do you know what? This is what I do. Sometimes if I don't have it already, I battened up quite a lot. When you're out, you've always got to prepare your twigs, your smaller, your larger twigs, and then get all your other bits and pieces. So the one thing I found that's very, very easy to do, and easy, quick, you know, if you do happen to have your petroleum jelly on you, and your cotton buds, this is what I do. You open up the petroleum jelly, put it to one side, take a few cotton buds, 4 or 5, yeah, 4 or 5, as I say, 5 cotton buds, stick them in the jar. Actually, I'll only use 4, and you just mix it all around with one of the sticks, and you get a nice good, everything gets a nice good coating. And what you do is you just scrape it around, and you pull it all out, and it sticks to the stick. You stick it in your stove or whatever. You get some extra battening, twigs, or everything else like that. So you just lay it all around on top. If you don't have a lighter, like I said, I've always got my fire strike with me, and it's voila. And as soon as the twigs start to catch, you've got yourself a fire. Don't need candle wax, small tin of Vaseline. I don't need. How to? Simple. Do it just with a piece of you know, I used to get little pine cones, drip paraffin or paraffin wax on them. I tried it with white spirit, soak them in, but that didn't really work out. But yeah, you could drip candle wax on a pine cone. It doesn't strike very well with the fire strike. You've got a lighter, bang, it goes up really quick. All you need is as I say, even if you don't have a light, you could just rub wax, beeswax or anything else like that. WD-40, I'm sure. Yeah, bang, poof, you're done. You have to spend lots of time. I mean, I do it because it's good also in the rain. Yeah, to get things started. It's a very quick way of getting a fire going. And as you can see, you know, that's going well. Oh dear. I do like these videos though. I do like watching them. You know, you can spend hours sometimes, yeah, preparing buds. Oh look, I've got a stash of buds. You don't really need to. Just bring a jar of. I mean, if you just brought that with you, yeah, you don't need anything else. You know, just you could just wrap a couple of small twigs in the petroleum jelly. And you're away. Obviously that's not very efficient, but yeah, I mean, if petroleum jelly, it's all you need to do is take that, yeah, in your backpack, technically. Anyway, I do love these videos. Anyway, just thought I'd give my tuppence worth, okay? See you later, guys.